Good morning and welcome back, and thank you for joining us this morning here at our third virtual episode of Live at the Legislature. Our guest this morning for the Legislative Minorities, Representative Rep Matsumoto. She represents House District 45 and serves as our minority floor leader. Rep Matsumoto, good morning.
Good morning.
Thanks for joining us. This has obviously been a difficult time for a lot of folks, and you have a really big, diverse district. I just wanted to start off, can you tell us what issues have been coming up in your community?
I think a lot of the issues that have been coming up in my community are very similar to the rest of the state. Unemployment, people worried about their rent and their mortgage, our small businesses in our district. And so what my office has done is we sent out a mailer to the entire district covering things that will help individuals and families, homeowners, and also our small businesses, trying to put together all of the information in one place, because I know people are getting hit with information right and left, and it gets pretty confusing after a while. And so we tried to put that together. If you don't live in my district and didn't get that flyer, you can still go onto my website at repmatsumoto.com. It's available there to look at, and just something that really consolidates all of that information. But on something that's really specific to my district, before the pandemic really broke out, the tenants at Dillingham Airfield received notification that they would have to leave by June 30th, that their lease would end. And so we've been working with DOT, with the area legislators, and been working really, really hard. And I'm so grateful. DOT has just granted a year's extension on that lease to allow us to really work out some of the challenges that we face and hopefully keep that airfield open for all of the tenants there. It really is a unique place.
One sort of blessing in disguise, I suppose, that's come from the pandemic for your district. Have the needs of each community vary? You know, you have Schofield, Mokule'ia, Wailua, Kunia, Wapio Acres, and Mililani, you know, very, very diverse community. Are the needs roughly the same as far as resources go, or has that changed?
They're roughly the same, but I say the needs will be different. In Mililani, we've gotten a lot of questions about education and the rent. And as you go down my district, I have a lot of agriculture, some of the best prime ag lands left in Oahu. And really, we've been having some of our farmers come out and just ask some of those questions. So being able to meet all of those needs, while they're different, a lot of them are really the same, because people are just really wondering what's going to happen going forward.
Definitely. I want to transition to the stay-at-home orders. You are the second working mother member of the caucus who's joining us here. And so how has it affected you? Is your 2-year-old son on TikTok yet? How have you been coping, and what have you been up to these past few weeks?
I'm sure it's much like everybody else. It's been a bit crazy and a bit of adjusting. I have a 2-year-old and a 3-month-old. So working from home with the two of them, and my husband is a firefighter and he's on the front lines. And so having him gone for 24 hours has been interesting, but we've been making it work. So we've been really trying to do things for other families who have kids at home, realizing that it's giving them resources. So I was on a jump rope team in Mililani since I was 5 years old. And so we filmed my son and I doing a whole bunch of different jump rope tricks. And so if you go on my Instagram and my Facebook, we'll be having a jump rope trick of a day. I can't think of any better way to work out when you have a stay-at-home order. For a jump rope, you only need a 10 by 10 space and you're good. And 10 minutes of jump rope equals 30 minutes of jogging. So a great way to stay in shape with your family. Something else that we've done, I've actually been working on a Hawaii state government activity book for the last 6 years of being in the legislature, and really kind of putting it all together. And so what we've done is it's just finished. And so I don't want to say perfect timing, because that sounds horrible, but it really is coming out right when families are stuck at home looking for things for their kids to do. And so one of the residents of North Shore turned me into a cartoon. I have 3 of my friends who teach kids about the legislative process. And so that's also going to be available online at my website, repmatsumoto.com.
And you said that activity book took 6 years?
It took 6 years. So there's been lots of different versions of the activity book. And this is the final version that I was looking for and hoping for. And so it's a 28-page activity book to teach kids about the legislative process.
Wow, yeah. So it's definitely one of those things that I think a lot of people have done is finishing things that they've always wanted to take the time to do, and I'm getting into different hobbies as well. So that's awesome to hear. I want to transition to another great thing that you've been doing in your district. It's the hashtag Malama Masks project. I've got mine right here. Can you tell us a little bit about what you've been doing? You had an instructional video on your website. You could
Yeah,
go a little
so
into that.
this all started about a month ago, and my family owns Peterson Upland Farm in Wahiwa. And I realized my mother was seeing hundreds of people a day. People were lining up in order to get eggs from the farm, and realizing how many people she was interacting with. And with my husband being a first responder, I knew I didn't want to take any N95s off the market for our medical workers or our first responders, and realized there was a great need for fabric masks. And so really started with wanting to take care of my mom, but then I thought about all of the grocery stores, the pharmacies, Costco, all of these places that are considered essential that didn't have any protection and or protection for their customers through wearing the masks. And so my husband's company family owns Hawaii Mercantile, and they so generously donated fabric and elastic in order to make, for this first round, they made 2,000 masks. And what we did is
Wow.
people could go to the farm and pick up these kits that we put together. And then they sewed these masks for our essential workers. And it's been so great just to see the community come together. I've had 3 of my former teachers come out and help sew. It really has been a community effort. And so we've been able to give these masks to many of our local restaurants that I've also been highlighting on my Instagram. We've been giving it to Long's, to Safeway, Oahu Transit Services with the bus, Costco. And so being able to protect those in our community. And then once the CDC came out in early April with their Masks for All initiative, and everybody should be wearing masks, the need just skyrocketed. And so just last week, my husband cut another 5,000 masks to
Wow.
be sewn. And so really the need has gone up, but because it's been so difficult to get the masks back in the timely manner to meet the demand of what people need, we've had professional sewers sew these 5,000 masks. And we've had a lot of people also asking who aren't essential workers. They were wanting masks also, because now you can't go into Foodland without a mask
Right.
on. So
Yeah.
people needing these masks. So starting on Saturday, people can go to Peterson Upland Farm and they can buy a mask for $5. And when they buy 1 mask, we'll be donating 3 masks to essential workers. So neither my husband's company or my family is making any profit off of this, but something to provide masks for the entire community.
That's excellent. Rep Matsumoto, we've got about 30 seconds left. How can folks get in touch with you while we're still staying at home?
The best way is, 1, check through my website, repmatsumoto.com, but please feel free to email us anytime, repmatsumoto@capital.hawaii.gov, and we will get back to you. It's very important that we all stay connected during this time.
Absolutely. Rep Matsumoto, thank you for joining us this morning.
Thank you.
And again, thank you to the Olelo staff for setting us up virtually. We will see you all next week online. Aloha.
What are you doing? We have to go. I'm gonna be late for work.
It's Tuesday morning. I gotta record live at the Legislature on Olelo. Senate and House leadership discussing what's happening at the state capitol.
So just watch it on the news tonight. Come on, let's go.
Hey, this is like getting the news before it's news. If only I could get this remote to work.
There. Can we go now?
No DVR? No problem. Watch Wednesday evenings at 7 p.m. on Channel 49.